All right, happy Saturday, everyone. So today I thought what we
Hi
would
everyone,
do.
Mark Barden here at
Uh-oh.
Sandy Hook Promise. On December 14th, 2012.
What we're going to do is build a little bit of confidence using our 5-finger pattern. We're talking about shape 1 at iMusic Academy, which is the first 5 notes of the blues scale. So you have C, E flat, F, F sharp, G, which is 1 of any major scale, flat 3rd, 4th, sharp 4, and the 5th. And what I like to do is teach where you get your hand over this particular shape. And this is one way you can build confidence in any key. So if somebody said, hey, let's play an F blues, and you learn this shape, all 5 of those notes are going to work. Another thing that you can do that we're going to talk about today is you can take a blues scale like the C blues scale, first 5 notes, and when you learn this shape in every key, then you can start doing things like this. The key of C is our blues key, but we can go down 3 half steps, and now you can do the first 4 notes of the A blues scale, and so all of those notes are going to work as well. So as we learn this 5-finger pattern, there are all kinds of ways that you can turn this around. I'm going to show you different ways to do that. But at first, since we have this metronome going, and I'll keep the metronome going as annoying as it might be, we'll keep it up because I want you guys to be using the metronome and playing in time. And the more you do that, the more you'll build confidence. So I think we're at 90 beats per minute. And let me know if you can't hear that. And I'm just warming up the fingers. So as I'm doing this, I'm building up muscle memory. And building this shape up so that when I put my hand on the keyboard, I'm automatically hovering over any of those notes. Now what you can start to do is, one, use your ear and your imagination to make up your own ideas. So I can just do something like this. Boom, da, dum, ba, da, dum, ba, da, 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 and put a bass line with it. We're going to do C to G and then C to A in the quarter notes. Quarter note, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can go down here and do that again. Let's do that again. When I go to the 4 chord, those notes are going to work as well. Still thinking about the C blues. Now I'll go to the 5 chord, which is G. Let's do that one more time. Okay, so the next thing we said we could do is you go down 3 half steps from whatever key you're in, and now you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 of the A blues scale. So G. And now I'm just walking up, doing a little walk up from C, E, F, F sharp, G is a little turnaround bass line. So let's do a review. Got the shape going. Go to the F chord. Okay, so now let's talk about this beginning blues sheet that we have and a couple things we can do with that. So if you look up here, the first thing is beginning blues 5-finger patterns. You can play it in the same octave, so right here. And you can also play with the quarter note bass line. The second two measures has this. And I want you to notice something that I'm doing is I put this on what I call automatic pilot, just going up and down. But when I do the bass line, and I do 1 and 2, so when I get to the second beat, 1 and 2, I'm on C and A, and my F, my middle finger locks up, going up and down. So we have this. Each time I get to that F, I'm on C and A. So here we go. Same thing on the F chord. On the G chord. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to continue down this PDF. Now look at this next one. So measure 3 does 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and one of my favorite ways to turn around this very simple pattern, 5-note pattern. 1, da, 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 da. So fingers 1, 2, 1, 4, 5. 4, 3, 1, 2. F chord, same thing. On G chord. Let's do that again. Here we go. Okay, let's do one of the next patterns down. So the next measure is this. 2, very simple. On the F chord. Let's go down to the next one. We have this. Same exact shape, right? As we did up here. Now it's down here. And let me go ahead and check the chat to see if anybody comes in. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we move this down here. And now we're going to focus on these two 4 measures right here. The first one is the A blues scale. So you have 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, and this works great over the F chord. 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so as I keep going down the page, the next one Actually, the next two measures, it does a really nice thing. I call this kind of an Oscar Peterson type thing. We're doing F sharp, which is the tritone of C. How you take a C scale and you go up to the fourth note and you raise it. That's called the tritone, from C up to F sharp. And what you're going to do is 2, 5, 2, 1. So get used to this pattern because it's a great pattern to use. C up to F sharp, da dee da ba, and then go to the minor third, E flat, da 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 da. So we have this sound. Let's do that again, just making things up. I'm either doing this, which is this one right here, or I'm doing the tritone lick. Alright, let's go down the page. Ooh, da. Let's see, that's not right. Here we go. Ooh, da, 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 da. And 2, and 3, and 4. Kind of like that. It feels good. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 4. And 3, and 4, and 4. Okay, that's the next one. So measure, let's see what measure 13 does this. And the measure 14 does this. I like that too. Or here we go. You can do eighth notes in the left hand as well. We have the tritone. Okay, now I'm going to show you some very important, fun things to add to this. The next thing we're going to do is, let me actually pause this metronome for a second before I go crazy hearing it. Okay, you need to know the blues scale fingering. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then thumb under. So that's already your first 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb comes under, and then on top you have your thumb, but now we're going to work on the top half of the blues scale. So the bottom half is 1, 2, 3, 4, and what I call the top half is your thumb on G, your B flat is your flat 7, your root is your C up top, so I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and then you have on the top, this is the scale starting over. Now you have the minor third, so you have and what's great about this is all those notes are going to work. And my middle finger, if I put my middle finger on any key that I'm on, like C blues, my middle finger is automatically setting up for the root. My thumb is already hanging over the 5th, which is really kind of nice. And then my index finger is hovering over the B flat. And then on top, I can use my 4th finger for the E flat. So you have this sound. when I switch to the F chord. So you have this nice shape. You have the first shape, which is just the first 5 notes of the blues scale, but then on top, you're going to put your thumb, actually your middle finger, on the key that you're in, and that, once again, your thumb will hover over the 5th note of the scale. Your flat 7 is your index finger, and then on top, you use your 4th finger for the minor third. What a great way to do the top half of the blues scale. And what sounds so nice is the tension of the E flat on top. That's the minor third of whatever key I'm in. And I go da 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 da. So this sound right here. And isn't it nice that you already have notes that you can use that you know are going to work? All of these notes are going to work over a C blues, and then this top half of the blues scale, and all of them will work. I could just spend time on my thumb and my index finger. Okay, so let's talk about how the blues scale transitions from one shape to the other. What I like to talk about is the 4th finger. For me, as I'm transitioning the blues scale into different octaves, and I can go all the way up and down the keyboard pretty easily, only because I've learned how to take the blues scale and use certain focus notes to help transition. Like when we learn our major scales, we learn 1, 2, 3, thumb under, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same exact principle, but we have to know, okay, if these are the blues scale notes, 1, flat third of the C scale, 4th, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, 1. When if those are my notes for the C minor blues scale, as I come down, I do 3, 2, 1, and then I focus on this one note, the F sharp, as my transition note, and my 4th finger every time is going to go on the F sharp. So as I'm going up and down the keyboard, I'm visualizing getting to that F sharp, and that's naturally setting me up for shape 1 that we started with. And then as I come down, I'm going to hit my B flat with my 3rd finger, and then I'm going to do 1, and then once again there's my F sharp that I'm visualizing getting to each time. On the way up, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, there's my connection note, and then it starts over again. 1, 2, 3, there's my 4th finger on there. And there are all kinds of ways you can turn that around. Okay, now, why is that important? Because it is good to also practice. You have your shapes, but it's also good to be able to connect those shapes, right? And another important thing as you're learning about connecting is sometimes it's perfectly acceptable and it sounds great to be playing a simple blues riff and then just as a filler way to play the blues scale exactly as it is. So maybe I'm doing this. See how I did that? 1. Just the blues scale. And that way I just played it all the way down. 1. And then I just went back up to kind of resolve it. But you see how just playing one shape, one small little shape, playing the top shape, and then learning how to transition between those two shapes using your F sharp as in this case, your F sharp to help connect those arpeggios. Okay, we're going to do one more thing in this lesson, and I hope you've enjoyed this little mini lesson, is that this is from the Blues Academy, and we don't do lessons usually on Saturday. but occasionally I do pop-up lessons. This would be an example of the kind of teaching we do every week. But what we've been doing with Ray Charles things is this idea of the major third and sliding up there. So you can use the fifth of, we've studied What I'd Say from Ray Charles, the song What I'd Say, which is normally we do that in E, but I'll show you this in C. If I'm in a C blues and I'm going to get to that fifth note, I'm going to use this down home fingering. I use my thumb and I'm getting up to the fifth note of the C scale. So 1, 2, 2, 4, 5. And I'm really focusing on getting to that fifth note, but I'm approaching it a whole step below, and I do 1, 2, 1. This is a technique you just have to learn how to get. So it sounds like this. Let me try that again. Again, I do 1, 2, and I get to the fifth. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's my rhythm. 1 and 2 and. So the end of 2 gets this somewhat awkward of a slide if you've never done it before, but I'm taking from my tritone, my F sharp, down to the F note. But it's so crucial to get this fingering down, because this is sort of your down home fingering. This is what makes that sound, in addition to Ray Charles being a genius with his feel, time feel and everything. But it's learning how to use this fingering of 1, 2, 2 is good. And then 4, 5, and then 5, and then you do 3, 3. You just have to practice that over and over. So I could do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you just do that over and over, and that's getting to the fifth note of the C blues. So if I'm doing our blues that we've already been working on today, and I do this, or I do the A blues scale, maybe I want to go to that. Now back to the shape. So notice how I did that, just over and over, trying to get that feel. So that's going up to the fifth of whatever, if I'm in the key of C, and I go up to that fifth note, and then I do flat 7, root on top, and then I do that slide that you're going to be working on. Da, 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 da. The next thing we're going to add, and the last thing that we'll add for this lesson, is this idea of the third, okay? I'm going to use the same exact pattern, so this idea of, but now I'm going to get to the major third. And notice that I did the exact same fingering. 1, 2, 2, 4, 5. And now I do middle finger from the minor third down to the second note. So we have da 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 dum. And why is that so important? Because this fingering right here gets me to some really important notes. The sixth note of the C scale, da da da, really important notes right there. Major third, 6, 5, and root. And you guys know from Blues Volume 1, we do this lick is one of the first ones we do. We do eighth note bass line, and we do this. And what that's doing is the sixth note, which is a great note in the key of whatever key you're in, go to the sixth note, especially for blues, right? It's a nice sound, da da da. And then I did that 3, 2, 1, minor third, second note, root, and then I do 6, 5, da da. Da, 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 da. So I had the same idea, but that has that sort of Ray Charles type fingering to go with that. And why am I emphasizing the third now? Because as we learn how to play the blues, it is great to be able to hit that minor third all day and have all those sounds directly from the blues scale. But if you just did that and never hit this, you would be missing out on a lot, a really nice feeling. So you need that major third as well to throw into your blues playing. And that's why sometimes we might want to do this. And here we go. So we have or maybe I want to do this: minor third, major third, 5. So you hear the difference? If it's just minor third all the time, da 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 da, but occasionally we want to hear this. So da 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 da. Okay, so let's finish up by doing this. One exercise that I love to do, especially if I'm feeling like I'm not really swinging the way I want to, or I don't feel like I'm playing bluesy, I start on either the 6th note, or play down here on this shape that we've already talked about today, or I'll go up to the flat 7. Da 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 da. I want you to listen to the difference. So if I just wake up and I'm going to play the C blues, I'm going to go to the flat 7 note and just listen to this. Da 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 da. And if I go to da da, that's the minor third. So maybe da 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 da, or da 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 da. That will get you, just that one idea will get you into the feeling of the blues. So you have dee-da-da-da-dum, major third, a little happy sound, dee-da-da-da-da-dum, or sad or minor sound, dee-da-da-da-da-dum, dee-da-da-da-da-dum. Okay, so here's your very quick 1-minute review of what we did today. So we talked about the shape 1, all the different ways you can turn around that, and you put this on automatic pilot. And your middle finger gets the change from C, G to C to A, and the right hand middle finger on F. Change, change. Put that on automatic pilot, and I would encourage you to try, if you have a little more experience, to try that same thing in any key. Middle finger gets the change, G. And know that as you practice this exercise in the right hand, as you change from the 1 chord of the F, of the C blues to the 4 chord, which is F, to the 5 chord, which is G, you still keep the C in the right hand. 2 and 3 and 4. Now to F, 3 and 4. Just kind of putting on automatic pilot. You still know that even after you build up the muscle memory, you can turn around just those 5 notes in so many different ways. and then the last thing that we did is we said, well, there were a couple other things we did. We said that you can take the C blues scale and then you play the top half of the blues scale, and what's great about that is your middle finger goes on the root of whatever key you're in. If I'm in the key of C, my middle finger's there. My thumb is naturally hanging over the 5th note of the scale. My index finger is hanging over the flat 7, and on top, my minor 3rd. So we had this kind of sound. Okay, and then we talked about, well, you also need to learn the transition from the bottom to the top. And what I like to do is use my F sharp, my 4th finger on F sharp is my transition. So 1, 2, 3, there's my F sharp, 4th finger, thumb comes under. So now I can transition from the bottom and the top, right? Now, I didn't start off by being able to play that quickly, right? It takes time, and you just do repetition over and over. Same with all of this stuff. You will build confidence if you spend time down here, and you also spend time here in this particular shape. So 2 different shapes. And then what you want to do is sometimes you're improvising down here. Now watch this scale coming down. And that's just the scale. So you can use just the scale as a filler occasionally, and it sounds great just to play it as it is. All right, and then we talked about the idea of this Ray Charles idea. I want everybody to get this down. If we're in the key of C, and we kind of have this What I'd Say from Ray Charles kind of lick that we're after, and this particular fingering that I want you guys to know, is that one great thing to do is getting to the 5th, if we're in the key of C, and there's the note I want. Da, 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 right out of What I'd Say, but in a different key. I'm using my thumb on the F, but I'm really trying to get to that G note, and I use 1, and my second finger plays 2 different notes. Slide up. So 1 and 2, and here's the magic, is getting the 3rd finger to slide from that F sharp down to the F. Da, 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 da. Getting to that note is really important, and the other thing that you can do is play the same pattern but go minor 3rd to major 3rd. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we did that. We did those 2 different Ray Charles patterns. All right, we'll sign off for now, but what I want to tell you guys is if anybody is interested in finding about the Blues Academy, it is so much fun. I only want people to, be able to experience what it's like to be in our academy. We have a great time. It's really like a family type situation. We probably have about 20 people in our academy. They've been in it for a couple of years, and ultimately what it says is it's one lesson a month. It was like you're taking 1 lesson a month with me, and actually a little less than that. And for that, they get everything. You get online membership, you get all of the courses, access to everything. And in addition to our weekly practices, we do a minimum of 2 a week, Mondays and Thursdays with occasional pop-ups like we do now. And we have people scattered all throughout the world, and they're very encouraging to each other, and it's so much fun. But in addition to getting all the courses, everything, access to everything, there's an online platform at iMusic Academy, but you also get the community. And every week we have focused goals, kind of like what we did today, but we've done, last month we did Hound Dog, and we play it like, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. Da, 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 da. So we have the same exact things we're applying to all this. We learn how to play each song. Now we're doing Blueberry Hill for the month of February. So each month we have a different song. We're also doing Happy Birthday. How do you play Happy Birthday? Because everyone needs to know how to play Happy Birthday. So anyway, it's such a fun community. We do lessons Tuesdays and Thursdays with pop-up lessons, and everybody has access to the practice folder, which is totally different from all of the different courses at iMusic Academy. Is you get this practice folder which says, all right, here's what we're doing for today, for this week, and here are the keys we're working on. Like this last week alone, we did this right here. We did first five fingers of the blues scale, and we're doing it real-time practice in C, C sharp, D, we're up to E flat, and then we also go down to B, and we do B flat. So that's one of the exercises that everybody's supposed to do. And so anyway, it's just a really fun thing. I'm so thankful to be able to do that. And I promise it's not only very affordable to do it, but it's a great community. And if you don't want to be a part of iMusic Academy, totally fine. But find a community that you love, because having all the courses in the world are great, but you need to use them, and you also need to have, it's good to have a community of other people who are practicing together. Okay, last thing I'll say is this, is if anybody's interested in learning more about the community, just email me, bob@imusicacademy.com or imusicacademy1@gmail.com or bobtaylormusic@gmail.com. And I'll answer any questions you have. And if you just want to hang out with us and try it out, I'll let you do that too. I'm very easygoing. And then the other thing is, it doesn't matter your age, your stage, your background, you will fit in this group. I have retired people, I have younger people in this group, and they range from as young as early 20s to 86. And everybody is welcome and absolutely loved. Have a great Saturday, everyone. Thank you so much for the support at iMusic Academy. You guys are awesome. I love what I get to do, and I hope you have a fantastic day. If you have any questions about what we did today, or you need me to help you figure something out, I'll definitely do that. And also, if you just want access to this beginning blues sheet, email me and I'll send it to you. How about that? All right, have a great day, and I'll see all of you in the next video, and I'll see our membership academy on Monday morning at 8 a.m.